Well, thank you everyone for attending the collaborative information session. We wanted to take a few moments out, about maybe 5 to 7 minutes, just to kind of give you a better feel of what the collaborative event is all about, which is called Power and Sports Mixer. Introduce you to our founder, CEO, Sydney Walker, a little bit more about her, her background, what she's kind of up to today, and then dive a little bit into the details around how the meeting will flow. And our favorite part of this information sharing is how you can participate and be part of the collaborative moving forward. So with that, I'd like to turn it over to Sydney Walker.
Thank you, John, and thank you everyone for joining us tonight. I'll be walking you through a little bit more about the collaborative and then myself, athletically, academically, and personally. So my name is Sydney Walker. I'm the founder of the collaborative, which is focused on connecting the sports and entertainment industry with aspiring journalists and PR professionals via Zoom fireside chats. Since 2020, we've had over 38 guests, ranging from NBC's Maria Taylor to ESPN's Marcus Spears, Ryan Clark, Laura Rutledge, and Neil Everett, to New Orleans Saints Cameron Jordan and MLB Hall of Famer John Smoltz. I graduated from the University of Oregon in 2021 with a double major in journalism and PR. I was also a member of the Bateman competition team hosted by Public Relations Student Society of America. And I was nominated as a student speaker for the School of Journalism and Communication in 21. I went to the University of Oregon for track and field. I threw the weight and hammer and finished number 7 all time in the top 10. And lastly, I previously worked at Turner Sports in the marketing and PR division across their MLB, NBA, NHL, and NCAA properties. And I also interned at Fidelity Investments in the Enterprise Cybersecurity division. I'm a member of Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated and also a Black Woman in Sports Atlanta. So diving into our first in-person event for the collaborative, the Power and Sports Mixer, it'll be Friday, September 2nd from 6 to 9 p.m. in Sandy Springs, Georgia. And looking at our panelists, we have Bob Rathbun, Atlanta Hawks play-by-play announcer, Lauren Walsh, Executive Vice President of Branding and Marketing for Solid Foundation Management and Quality Control, Melissa Proctor, Executive Vice President and Chief Marketing Officer for the Atlanta Hawks and State Farm Arena. She oversees all marketing, branding, and corporate responsibility for the Hawks and State Farm Arena. And then we have Kristen Lockett, who is a CEO of her own PR firm, Lockett Up PR. She helps with branding, social media for influencers and professional athletes. So getting into the run of schedule, we'll have mingle and light appetizers from 6 to 7 to allow people to get into the door and kind of relax before we get started. We'll have a welcome from me, and then we'll get into our live Q&A panel with Bob, Lauren, Melissa, and Kristen. And following our live Q&A panel, we will have speed networking sessions. Everyone in attendance will be able to talk with them in different parts of the room and also network with other attendees. And then to close off the night, we will have a raffle and some closing remarks. To put a face with a name, here's our promo flyer and all of our guests. So like I said, the event will be Friday, September 2nd from 6 to 9 p.m. Eastern Time at Luminous Gatherings Event Space in Sandy Springs, Georgia. And right now the cost is $40 for general admission, but we do have some special promo codes going on for high school and college students, ranging from free to $10. So that $40 tier is anyone above a young professional that is in or around the area and wants to attend. And right now our target audience is 100 attendees, which is high school students, college students, journalism and PR majors, and young professionals. And also this event was set up by design to take place this weekend due to the Georgia-Oregon game happening on the 3rd. So we're also targeting UGA students and alumni and also UO students and alumni due to my co-host and I being University of Oregon alum, and also a lot of other people being University of Georgia students and alumni. So that is also our target audience. And for this next slide, I really wanted to showcase this because our attendees are what makes the collaborative great. We love having them interact with our guests and building relationships that way. So I wanted to highlight this first quote. We had a student who was majoring in broadcast journalism, and my co-host couldn't make it for one session. So I asked her if she wanted to co-host with me. And she said, "Sydney, I can't thank you enough. Co-hosting was such a fabulous experience. I never would have had the chance to speak to Mike Tannenbaum, who was an NFL front office insider for ESPN. or someone like him if it wasn't for you. Thank you so, so much. And then we had a sports media professional who talked about Lisa Salters. And if you watch Monday Night Football, you're probably familiar with her, the sideline reporter. They said, thank you to the collaborative for the amazing interview with Lisa Salters. Her work ethic and passion is a testament to why she's one of the leading journalists in the field. And the last quote I want to recognize, we had a former D1 athlete and entrepreneur talk about Bob Rathbun. And another reason why we're bringing him back in person, he was a hit with all our attendees when we first brought him on as one of our first ever guests. And they said, I've thoroughly enjoyed being a #1 fan of the collaborative ever since they interviewed Bob Rathbun. The conversation shared with this platform is truly inspiring, and I look forward to supporting the success of the collaborative. So just a few quotes from some of our attendees, and just one of the reasons why we do it, give back to students and youth. And that's just some of the feedback they've had over the past 2 years.
Thank you, Sydney, for sharing that information. And certainly, I'm excited to hear not only that the collaborative is doing great things in the community, both locally as well as across the United States, but it also gives a chance for people to get some hands-on experience with some people they may not otherwise have access to. So thank you for sharing that information and bringing this event to life. So this is a slide that we're really excited about. This is an opportunity for you to engage. By engage, I mean create a partnership with a collaborative. You have an opportunity not only to support the event, but you also have the opportunity to make an investment into a couple different areas. First and foremost, is a woman-owned minority business. The Collaborative LLC is a registered business in the state of Georgia. So your contributions, financial and donations, are you can write them off of your taxes as well. You also investing in the youth, the young community of professionals who aspire to not only be just in the sports media, but also it could be other parts of their pursuit from a college perspective, right? So we hear some really good things, about when they have access to people who can say, this is what I would have done if I had to start all over. This is what I would pay attention to more so while in college. So the 5 levels that we have, a presented title sponsor, that's an opportunity at $5,000. You have all the name and rights, signage and logo, digital footprint to be included on the brochures, as well as the handout material, and also to be introduced and announced during the welcome and the kickoff. Also, we have an official sponsor level for $2,500. Same kind of a footprint opportunity with the signage, the logo, and some of the digital mobility from our website out to our social media, and then also to the gift bags as well, and then have your name listed and called out. We also have a food and beverage sponsor, so it's not just a $2,500. That's a way, but also by participating in this level of opportunity, you get recognized as being part of the food and beverage sponsors, right? So that's another good way, and it's also have some signage on the tables as well. Our fourth is for the panels and raffle gift bag. So that's $1,000 opportunity in a partnership that we created for you to be directly impact that particular opportunity with our panelists. And then we also have a collaborative friends and family sponsor one at $500. So these are the partnership level opportunities for you to engage with us. But we also have a donation, which is any amount that you feel is worthy enough that can go back to help a minority-owned business, help defray some of the costs, but more importantly, invest back into the youth community. And so that number can be whatever you want. So let's turn to the second slide, Sydney, and let's kind of talk about how you can collaborate with us, the collaborative, and how you can get engaged. So the first thing we ask you to do is go to our website, which is the first link there, to collaborativex.org. And make a donation. And what I mean by donation is a couple different ways you can access and purchase your tickets. And again, depending on what kind of tier or category you fall into, it could be from a discounted price to free, specifically target towards students, both high school as well as college. We're also going to ask that you spread the word with your network. So if you think about your social media network, your family, your friends, your Twitter, your Instagram, your TikTok, be able to share more about the collaborative, what we're up to, what we're doing. And we also going to ask that you connect with us. And so that's via YouTube, Instagram, or Twitter. So we have these links available, and we'll put it in the chat so that you can be able to engage directly. So these are some of the ways that we'd ask that you consider collaborating with us and partnering with us, but know that we appreciate and are humbled by your participation consideration to do so. The next slide, please, Sydney. And so these are some of the confirmed conference sponsors. What you see and should take away from here, these are the corporate level. So this is also another opportunity that if you want to go back and socialize to your corporation, if you happen to work at a company, a lot of people are mostly interested in being able to get on board, especially when you start talking about things that impact the community from a positive education perspective, as well as things that target the youth and young professionals. So if you need more questions around the business aspect of it, please feel free to reach out to us. And speaking of like how to reach out to us, I'm going to turn it back over to Sydney so she can talk about some next steps.
Yes, you can reach out to me at sydneewalker@icloud.com if you have any questions, or via cell at 770-365-5468. And if you fall into the category of high school or college student, we have a special promo going on right now. So use code SPORTSBIZ at checkout and you will have a discounted ticket. But please spread the word with your network about the collaborative and what we're doing, and also our upcoming event on Friday, September 2nd.
Okay. Thank you, Sydney. And did you say that you put this in the chat window too as well?
Doing that now.
Okay, awesome. Do we have any questions from anyone that may have joined in? Okay. I think I don't see any questions, but Sid, I have a question for you.
Yes.
When these guests that have come and been part of the collaborative, what are some of the things that they said a reason why they made themselves available to not only connect with you via the collaborative, but to actually show up and share their stories?
They're really excited to connect with other people who have aspirations to go into the same industry as them. And also they're willing to give back to the community as well. So just share stories about how they got into the field, what they would have changed if they could go back, and just help the next generation, because they want to see most of us be in their position in the next few years. So they're more than happy to give back and come hang out with us for 30 minutes.
Oh, that's awesome. And then the last question, Sid, do when you were thinking about your um, collegiate days, your freshman year, your sophomore year, did you have an idea what you wanted to do, or did it just sort of come to you while you was at college?
I actually knew what I wanted to do. I always wanted to major in journalism since high school. And when I got to college, I worked at the school TV station for 2 years because most people just talk about broadcast. But my sophomore year, I found out there was way more than broadcast. There was PR, social media, marketing, and you usually don't hear about that in college. So that's one of the reasons we targeted a diverse group of guests, ranging from broadcast to beat writing, social media, PR, athletes, current athletes, just getting the wide range of careers that you can go into within sports.
That's awesome. And is it fair to say when we look at the website, we can see all kinds of careers from people who design shoes that may work with Reebok, or people who do like the content stuff for major media outlets, and just different people from all walks of life have been
Yeah,
part of your.
yeah, so we've had some people, if you like shoes, we've had a few guests that work on that specifically cater to shoes for ESPN. So they're reporting on all shoe deals, what sneakers they have coming out, stuff like that. Then we've had designers for NBA and TNT and NBA TV. So we've had a wide range and diverse group of guests on the show.
Great, great. Well, Sydney, thank you so much for that and for answering the questions and taking time out of your busy day to be able to share more about the event. So thank everyone who joined, and we look forward to seeing you guys engage with us on social media in person on September the 2nd. Have a wonderful week.
Thank you everyone for joining.